Now, Elon Musk posted this today. It's a video that John Stossel hosted in which he quotes John Lott about good guys with guns. Elon Musk posted it. It got 20 million views, number 34.
Do you carry a gun? Bad idea, says Hollywood. Countless TV shows portray good guys who try to stop crimes with their own guns as fools.
Citizen's arrest, drop your gun!
The wise police officer sums it up.
Leave it to a good guy with a gun to really screw things up.
Liberal politicians agree.
A good guy with a gun will stop the bad guys with a gun. It doesn't hold up.
It doesn't, say experts, the media feature.
Good guy with a gun statistically isn't realistic. It's an adolescent rescue fantasy.
An adolescent rescue fantasy? Now, I'm no gun person. I was raised among lefty gun haters. I assumed Hollywood and the media told the truth. But then, 17 years ago, I hired the best data analyzer I know. That very tall guy on the left, Maxim Lott, here talking to the nearly as tall John Lott, his father, a criminal justice researcher who wrote this book. More guns, less crime? I was skeptical, and some researchers questioned Lott's data, but I've come to believe Lott is making a good point. In places where bad guys fear a good guy might be armed, crime tends to fall. Often just showing a weapon is enough to stop an assault. Police don't track such events, but these days some are posted on the web. Here an employee grabs her gun and the robber runs away. And again here.
3 robbers caught on camera breaking into a home in Atlanta. The men scramble to escape as the woman chases them.
When a civilian tries to stop one of these instances, they're overwhelmingly successful.
So why do all these TV shows lecture us about how it doesn't work?
The gun control groups brag about working with the screenwriters and the producers for the shows.
This group even boasts about its partnership with Hollywood and how they're consulted on scripts.
There's major star power behind an effort to rewrite the script on how guns are used in Hollywood.
They think they're making us safer because they believe FBI reports that say shooters being killed by citizens is rare. Why does the FBI say that?
They're simply missing a huge number of cases.
For example, well, the FBI includes the famous Pulse nightclub shooting.
At least 50 people are dead.
1 week afterwards, there was a similar attack at a nightclub in South Carolina.
There, a concealed carrier took down the shooter.
The thing is, it got virtually no news coverage.
49 people being killed is going to be a bigger story than 3 people being killed.
I understand, but the guy still had like 125 rounds of ammunition on him when he was stopped. You would think at least some of the news coverage would at least mention, here's another case that almost turned out to be the same, but it was stopped.
Also, remember the Parkland shooting?
At least 17 people are dead in Parkland, Florida.
Just a few months later, in Titusville, Florida, there was an elementary school that was having a big event at a park right next to the school. Had hundreds of students there, and a man came up, started firing his gun.
Police say the gunman was then shot by someone else who had a legally concealed weapon.
And was able to seriously wound the attacker and stop him before he was able to go and kill anybody.
The bystander saved a lot of people's lives, says the police. But I never heard about that. Local media covered it, but it hardly got attention beyond that. The FBI somehow also missed it. At crimeresearch.org, Lott lists cases where bystanders stopped shootings, cases that the FBI often ignores, like this one.
3 people are dead, several others injured.
Raul Mendez was at a party taking selfies with his pregnant wife, but then a guest at the party began firing at people.
Catches me in the right side of the head. Bullet entered right here, right by my ear, goes straight through my face and out my left eye.
Somehow, Mendez recovered.
I gained consciousness, and I unloaded 4 rounds and finished them off.
He probably saved the lives of a dozen people, including his wife and daughters.
Prevented him from, killing those girls.
You always carry a concealed gun?
I always do.
Why?
It's just about being prepared.
The FBI records instances like this, but somehow they have no record of your case.
They're not recording the true numbers, guns actually saved.
It's one of many cases like that the FBI is missing.
It happened. Why wouldn't they include this?
There's a lot of political views that people let infect their data. I had interactions with the people in the FBI. I had people go and tell me, well, I'm a Democrat, as a response, as if somehow that's how we determine whether or not to fix the data.
The FBI, who carry guns, are anti-gun. It's just not believable.
I think the people at the top, I think, are more politically motivated than maybe your rank-and-file FBI agent. If they think that it would go against the narrative that they want to go and push, then they'll fight you.
We asked the FBI about those cases they missed. They responded, their data is not intended to explore all active shooter incidents, but rather to provide a baseline understanding. Seems like they admit their data's incomplete. But the media sure don't.
This kind of outcome is rare.
This is very rare.
No, self-defense is more common than they say, and it does stop lots of crimes.
It'd be great if we could just get all guns to disappear. But the problem is that when you go and you ban guns, it's basically the most law-abiding good citizens who obey them. Every place in the world that's either banned all guns or all handguns has seen murder rates go up.
Why would that happen?
If you're primarily disarming their victims, you make it easier to commit the crimes.
But the so-called experts still say
there haven't been good guys with a gun who stop mass shootings. It's the kind of thing you learn from reading comic books.
I was prepared, and it saved lives. There's no comic book story about that. Those are facts. That's what happened. I was there. I'm sure there's many more out there that'll go unheard.
I talked to a professor from Florida, a criminologist named Gary Kleck. At the time, he said over 1 million people, maybe as high as 2.45 million people every year use guns for defensive purposes.